Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is The Narcissistic Resistance. And this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Melissa. And here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I've been wanting to send update to you, but it takes so much to gather all my thoughts and experiences with Narc Mom and put them down on paper. I hope you don't mind this one being so long and detailed, but I watch your videos and I always want to send in and contribute to the resistance. It is so difficult for me with the kids and all of life's distractions. I want you to know that I have been slowly trying to disconnect with this woman. I had gone no contact for a few weeks, but caved when someone who is close to the family passed away in a tragic way. As of now, I am certain and ready to execute my no contact plan. She is so evil and unbearable. It's more clear to me than ever. I am not seeking advice, really, but I do love your reactions to these stories because you understand the narc. You brilliantly convey the deviance in their behaviors. You may remember that we were going to Disney with the kids and she was trying to manipulate, guilt, and shame me to let her come and rearrange our trip. I was not going to deal with her BS on our first big family vacay. I never backed down. Well, we had made sure to keep the trip a secret from the kids. While she didn't tell them flat out, she did her best to try to spoil the surprise or shame me into telling them. She wanted her and my brother to give them their birthday presents in person. They were Disney gift cards with messages that said, "Enjoy your trip." This would clearly spoil the surprise, so I said we could FaceTime or videotape them opening them right before we leave the day of the trip. We planned to tell them where we were going after school right before heading to the airport. My brother wanted to have a cake for my daughter's birthday early since we would be away. He whined about how sad it was not doing our tradition of having cake, singing the birthday song on our actual birthday. And this is where it comes in, where I tell you, the narcissist is going to ruin everything. They will ruin all your special days, okay? And here we have the narcissist. I mean, how many birthdays are the children going to go to Disney for in their life? Is this a yearly thing for? No. But they got to make it about them in that moment. Like, this is probably a once-in-a-lifetime thing we're going to do where we're going to pick the kids up from school and surprise them and say, "Hey, we're heading to the airport for Disney for your birthday." No. They got to ruin that and make it about them. How sad it is. Sad for who? Sad for who exactly? For the kid who's going to Disney? For you? You can't be happy? You can't be happy for your nephew and your grandchildren that they got this gift that you're the one who said? Why would you be sad that you could be a part of it right before they leave? Hey, we're all in on it. Like, no. You want the satisfaction of a party. Unreal. I couldn't allow it because this would make her question. They both kept making me feel like my need to keep the surprise going was so inconvenient for what they wanted to do. Right, and it's your vacation. It ain't about them. They made it out to be selfish. My mother would not stop about it and even said she felt bad for Angelina that we were surprising her and she wouldn't be able to share it with her friends at school. Oh my God, like enough of you. You fucking petulant child. My mother told my daughter 5 days before her birthday that she would not see her for over a week and that Granny would not be able to see her on her birthday. It was so unnecessary. I was so pissed because my poor girl was all confused and she was sad and took that to mean that her grandmother would intentionally miss her birthday. She kept asking why I could why, and I could, she kept asking why, and I could see how much my mother enjoyed how dramatic this was, and how she could blame it on me because I just had to make this a surprise. My mother asked me, with my daughter present, if I planned to get schoolwork from the teacher to keep up with school. See, like, the fact that she's still around you, like, you're just begging for disaster. Because she's not going to stop until she tried to ruin it. She wasn't going to stop. Remember, this is supposed to be a surprise for the children, and she's trying to ruin it and make it about herself. I answered that I had emailed the teacher about that and she said, good, because I don't want her getting behind. I can't tell you how much these kinds of statements piss me off. Like, what does she mean? She doesn't want her to get behind. My kid, my problem. Take a seat, lady. Anyways, we got through that day, which was the day before the trip, and managed to keep the secret under wraps. The kids were super surprised and excited, and we had an excellent and successful trip, narc-free. When I returned, my mother called to notify me that she had put the house up on the market. It's like she had no clue how dysfunctional our relationship, because this is how she told me. She says, so I'm selling my house, and when it sells, I will need a place to live. So I'm either going to stay with you or Michael. If I stay with him, I know you will be jealous, so I'll just stay with you. Right. Like you're like a child, like she's tricking a child into taking their medicine. I told her I am hanging up and told her to think about what she just said and how she said it and call back. I have told her since then that there is no way she can stay here. She continued to make comments trying to manipulate my decision by saying things like, you need me here. If I live here, I could help. She will also downright talk about her moving in as if it was happening despite my saying no. She would say, all I am going to need here is one bed and a bureau, and I could decorate the downstairs, or say, the kids are going to love it. So I avoided her like the plague until Easter weekend. She offered to take the kids on the Friday night before Easter. She offered and we accepted, being that we had not had a minute or a night alone in over a month, and we have been in company of the children. Given that the trip to Disney was all about the kids, all day, every day, we looked forward to a night alone. She must have known that I looked forward to this night because, as she has done countless times in the past, she played one of her games that she loves to play against me. She knew perfectly well we had a plan and a time for drop-off. She decided not to answer my husband's calls when it was time to drop off the kids. She was not home. She ignored texts. She agreed to have them over less than 24 hours prior, so this was intentional. When I texted her, she finally responded saying, I'm out, what's up? And so I said, I thought the kids were coming over. She ignores, so then I text, didn't you tell Anthony to bring the kids over? She ignored that one. So then I said, the kids are already packed and you're not there. What should I tell them? They're waiting for your reply. Yeah, good. Put it back on her. Remember, these kids she cared so much about being surprised on a trip to Disney. She still ignored me, and I finally gave her what she wanted. I said, you're the worst. This is what she wanted. She wanted me to be angry, and she wanted me to say something that she could immediately reply with this. I'm the worst. You only call me when you want something from me. I didn't even ask her to take them. My husband is the one who talked to her, and she offered to have them. She ended up taking them in. She ended up taking them in the end, but it was very late and we couldn't go out or do anything. You shouldn't even have sent them over there at that point. I should not have let her take them, but at this point the kids were really excited too, and I always find myself in this position where I'm the bad guy one way or another. Right, she just wanted to ruin your night, and you let her. So you should have prepared your children for what's eventually going to happen is going no contact. Don't put it off. This is why you don't put it off. So this is all context for what was to come. This stuff is nothing compared to how things escalated. As I mentioned, it was Easter weekend. When we picked up the kids Saturday morning, my husband kept the kids for a few hours while I went and got some Easter basket goodies and bought my daughter some pretty spring dresses for Easter Sunday. That night, the night before Easter, she texts me, "Are you home?" I did not want to respond because this means she is looking to come over or something, but I responded to be nice and just said, "Yes, I'm painting with the kids." I didn't hear back, but an hour later, guess who shows up once again just before bed and uninvited? She was all happy and excited and had brought 3 brand new Easter dresses for my daughter. I spent the day picking out dresses for her to choose from, and I was quite happy with what I picked out. I cannot believe she didn't ask me first, or even that she thought she could dress her for the holiday. Of course they're going to take liberties. Any opportunity to ruin your day, they're going to do it. The narcissist takes any opportunity to ruin your day. Any opportunity. And by keeping her in your life, all you're doing is setting yourself up to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. These all have the same common denominator. You responding to the bitch. You thinking the bitch has changed. She ain't changed. She ain't never going to change. A hot stove is a hot stove, and a shit leopard doesn't change its spots. That's what your mother is, a fucking shit leopard. I don't know if you or any of your listeners can relate, but buying your little girl her Easter dress is like a mom privilege. I loved dressing up for Easter when I was little, and so I love seeing that joy for my girl. So she shows her the dresses despite my saying we have one, and then tries to convince us that hers are better. You should have thrown her out the second you saw what she was doing. Didn't work. No way was she going to pick the dress out so she could tell everyone how cute her granddaughter was on Easter because of the dress she picked out. So she left disappointed. My daughter later that night before bed tells me that the night before when they went over to her, at her house, Grammy told her the Easter bunny was not real. Any opportunity, any and every opportunity to ruin the days, to ruin your events, any opportunity. I was livid. For context, my mother had been trying to convince us that Santa and the Easter Bunny was no longer appropriate for her now that she was 9. She tried to pull this shit around Christmas, making suggestions about Santa not being real. So I asked her, and of course she lied and said she didn't say one way or the other. But then she went on about how we should tell her the truth because she's too old. The next day is Easter Sunday. I had a great morning with the kids. My husband works overnights, and he had to work until 9 a.m. He came home and played with the kids. We cleaned up from all the Easter baskets and Easter basket stuff and breakfast. I had to cook a dish for dinner with family at Mom's house, and then I got the kids dressed and ready. My husband rested before dinner at my mother's, and then we headed there. Oh, wait a minute. My husband rested before dinner at my mother's, and then we headed there. We were told to be there at 3. I got a text at 3 sharp saying, "Where are you?" Oh, I used to get paged. I used to get paged. The second my mother got to some place that I wasn't at yet, I got a page. It starts paging me. Like, where are, like, leave me alone. Like, I get here when I get here. And what that is, that's just showing control over you. I mean, she, like, when my mother, she was putting on a performance for the rest of the family. like I'm going to pull over and call her. I mean, this is before cell phones. Here is why I know she is going to be a witch. I'm at home having Easter morning with children and their baskets. I'm dressing my daughter and doing her hair. My day is magical because I am young and have a young family. She is miserable and alone. She can't keep a man because she is mean and a narcissist. She is preparing for dinner and she is thinking about how I don't appreciate her, which I don't anymore, and I don't have to. There is not enough good she could do for all the hate she has given and the amount of damage she has done. Now that I am healing and removing myself from her toxic grasp, she is growing more resentful and angry. It is stewing in her particularly more on this day. I ignored the test and went straight there, and I could already tell she was in a mood. I put on a super happy face and acted cool. I can't explain how she is, but it's like she is watching me and judging me and looking for things to say to me. Well, you could always tell when the fight's coming. I could always sense when, like, oh, fuck, here it comes. You know when the shitstorm is coming, okay? The shit leopard, beware of the shit leopard during the shitstorm, because that's when you're going to get the most shit all over you. It's sick and deranged. So this is going on the whole time. I was there only a minute, and my sister-in-law had said something like, what can I do to help, which is the most people say to the host, and she said, nope, Melissa's going to help me. Very matter-of-factly. The tone and the way she looked at me was like, you better jump for me, bitch, because it's all about control, all about it. So she's going to grasp it. Now she's grasping for it. Now she's a wounded shit leopard grasping. Wounded animals, they're most dangerous. This is when you can sense the fight is on. The fight is coming. You know it's coming. You injured the shit leopard's ego. The shit leopard's got to pounce. So I put the food out and smiled and got the kids their dishes. I'm trying to play her stupid game where she is looking for something to say negative about me, but I won't give it to her. So finally we sit down and my daughter says how she cleaned her playroom in the basement, and my mother says, oh really? Did you make room for Grammy's bed? And chuckles. She's proud of herself when she makes those comments. And I said, oh no beds down there. She then said, well, it'll be your loss. And then she immediately proceeded to tell us how she got up this morning and cleaned her yard and fixed up the garden and did all these household chores. And then, very smug-like, said, and what did you do? She looked right at my husband. So that's when I said, is that the kind of question we would lose out on? This is when my golden child brother, who undoubtedly has been hearing from my narc mom that I'm mean and how I overreact to everything, this is when he says in an angry, agitated way, what is that supposed to mean? What is wrong with you? Do I need to be on meds or something? So again, the only thing I said was the sarcastic comment. Is that the kind of question we would lose out on? But I'm the overreactive one. Of course, this is how the narcissist attack works. You're crazy, you're overreacting. It's anything to get you to engage. The shit leopard has a pup. Little shit cub. Okay, and the little shit cub is dependent on mama shit leopard. So the shit cub is like kind of just fucking flicking little fucking shit leopard turds, baby shit leopard turds, because that's all they got. They're trying to draw you in. So after he says that all huffy and puffy with me, I explained that it was a response to her saying it would be our loss not to let her move in, and I pointed out that she implied my husband didn't do enough work around the house. Then he came at me some more, saying that he was kidding around and I'm crazy, yada, yada, yada. Of course, that's what the little shit pup's gonna do. That's how it works, gets you to engage. Once you're explaining yourself, you've already lost. You've already lost to the shit leopard and her shit pup. Because now you're flicking their little shit turds back and forth at each other. And then you got shit all over you. You get shit all over everything. That's why it's called a shitstorm. I walked outside to have a cigarette and cool off. He came out after me and said, "What's going on with you and why are you giving her a hard time?" I told him that she was rude and awful to me, and I said, "Do you know she told Angela that the Easter Bunny was not real?" And he replied, "Oh, okay, who cares?" I said, "I do. You just wait till you have children." I said, you know what? You don't know what it's like, what she is like to me, and what you said was uncalled for and mean, saying that I need meds and was out of line. Well, that pissed him off because he went inside, got his wife and dog, came back outside and said, "Thanks for ruining Easter, you miserable fuck. You gave him what you want. Now the little shit pup is going to scurry off. Back to his shit den. Because it feeds Mama Shit Leopard. You understand? And this is all because you engaged it. Don't engage the narcissistic shit leopard. You're just going to get shit all over you. So I told my husband to get the kids, that I wanted to go home. When the kids came out, my mother followed. She buckled in my son and said goodbyes to the kids, and just before she was going to close the door, she started to say in her evil tone of disgust and vitriol, "You disgusting." She didn't finish that sentence because I went to open the door and come out after her, and she started running behind the house. So I blocked them all. I would not respond to their messages or calls for weeks. This is what she then said in their messages, which I think says a lot about them. Keep in mind, the only thing I said was, "Is this the kind of question we would lose out on?" That's all they needed. 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 One sentence. Doesn't matter how much. Doesn't matter. Now you're explaining it, and that's what they wanted. That's all they needed. Keep in mind, the only thing I said was, "Is that the kind of questions we would lose out on?" I was sarcastic, not emotional when I said this, and now you're explaining this bullshit. Because you got caught in the shitstorm. They were not. They both went crazy and or nasty, and they accused me of being crazy. My comment was a response to my mother, not my brother, and he was the one who escalated it all. He had no business in the conversation. The two of them have decided that I am the problem, and it must be some reason, not them, that is causing me to be so sensitive. Because all of a sudden, I don't put up with their rudeness and bullshit anymore. They think it's because I have, quote, something going on. Sorry, change of seasons again. From my brother. Clearly you have something going on that's making you very sensitive. Here's the feigning concern. Here we go. They needed the fight. It doesn't matter how it starts. It doesn't matter. I've had it done to me so many fucking times. That was my father's game. This is my father's game. You just don't even, you don't even know where it came from, but you gave them what they wanted because you showed up. You engaged it. Clearly you have something going on that's making you very sensitive. I'm sorry for what I said yesterday. I'm sorry for fighting with you. You are my sister, and I shouldn't say things to hurt you like that. I love you, and I hope you get through whatever that it is that's making you so emotional and short-tempered. You know I have a short temper too, so please show the same courtesy to not set me off because I don't want to fight with you. Again, I will still try to control my temper a little more, considerate that you are emotionally going through tough times. Love you. Like, this isn't about her temper. She has no temper there, but he's going to project, like, again, because he knows how ridiculous the fight started. But he's trying to get you to admit that you have a temper too. So then it could be explained like, the whole family's nuts. That's just how they are. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. This comes from the guy who loses his shit and calls me names regularly. Idiot, asshole, shithead, piece of shit, or just the regular fuck you. Most times it is over his own ego entitlement complex. He thinks he is like King Kong, bow down to, and demands a mafia godfather kind of respect that is not earned. Sometimes it's because I'm standing up to him when he's treating me like the scapegoat that they want me to be. He has been physically violent with me in the past. He has serious anger management issues. I have never escalated an argument with him in the same way he does. If he has these, and I got to ask it, I got to put it out here. I don't know what it was like, with kids, but what he's like. But it sounds like he has something sexual with you. When they're still violent and angry at their sisters like this, there's something sexual going on with it. It's what Charlene deals with. I have so many women, the same deal with the brothers. When there's like an anger with your brother like this, when you're still fighting like children like this, there's something sexual going on with him, Leo. Here's the text from my mother, and a text only to me. Can you and I sit down and talk about what is really bothering you and try to fix this? This is not good for us, the kids, or any of us. In a group text with my brother, sister-in-law, and my husband included, she wrote this. I'm sorry, guys. It's my fault everyone is stressed. I hope we can work this out. We all need each other, and the kids need all of us in their lives. I never meant to hurt anyone. I mean well, and all I want is the best for all of us. That's why I thought if I sold my house and split my time between both of you, I would be helping. Melissa, out of all of us, you do the most, putting the kids to bed and waking up with them almost every day because of Anthony's schedule. You're like a single mom, and I think we all forget that. In the end, I will do anything for you. Spend my last dollar if I have to. There is a lot of guilt going on in there, a lot of multi-level bullshit. The shit leopard can throw out some multi-level bullshit in the shitstorm. And you think the shitstorm is over. This is the eye. You're in the eye of the shitstorm here. You got to beware of the shit leopard and the shit pups coming out after you. Okay, this is the eye of the shitstorm. Making, like most narcissists love to make it about children, whether it's politically, in a family, all this guilt bullshit. That's all because I was just trying to do the right thing, I caused all this stress, but it was only because I was doing the right thing. Fuck you. Fuck you. This fucking shitstorm ain't over. This is just the eye. The eye of the shitstorm. Unpacking that one, she used triangulation to pin my brother on me and made me feel bad for her. And even though she says that she is at fault and takes the blame, she will never admit that this is what she did. She goes on to say that the kids need all of us in their lives. Really, she is admitting that she is only apologizing for fear of losing her grandkids and turning it around as though they need her, not that she needs them. She is always saying that I'm going to hurt my kids by keeping her from them in an effort to shame me into letting her be in our lives. She said she wanted to split time to help us, but she's just trying to find a new way to stay in control and invade our lives because she can't let go that she can't let go that our lives are ours and not hers. No, and she never will. She never will. And you got to understand, after all, she's saying this is all because she was trying to be a better grandmother, all this stress. She takes no responsibility for any of it. She tried to pretend that she had empathy towards others, empathy towards me, saying that I need her help the most because I'm doing everything with my kids like a single mom because of my husband's schedule. Right. She's calling your husband a piece of shit by proxy. You know? Calling you a single mother. I mean, come on. Come on. He works a lot, 70 plus hours. He also does a lot as well. He is home during the day, picking up and dropping off, cooking dinner, and taking them to the food store and doing the grocery shopping. He will fold laundry, etc. He's constantly asking me what she is constantly asking me what he does all day and wants to believe that he is like my father, but he is not. She has no reason to say that I am like a single mom with my husband on this group message chain. She then closes it with, I will do anything, spend my last dollar. That's her way of offering bribery and thinking that if I need money from her or any financial help, that will be her way to get me to let her back in. After a while, she messaged me again privately saying, Hi, Melissa, I miss you, and I love you very much, and I always want the best for you. Can I pick up the kids tomorrow night after work? No, I hope not. I didn't respond, and then later she sent another. Excuse me. Voice again. Melissa, I'm trying to figure out what my night tomorrow entails. Do you want me to take the kids? I'm not going to just show up and pick them up not knowing if you want me to have them or not. I'm not afraid. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is the eye of the shitstorm passing? Are you about to hit the tail end, the back end of that shitstorm? I think so. I think so. Why would she not know and still show up? It sounds like she is assuming she is taking the kids regardless of there being no plan to do so. So there is no response from me about it. Am I right? She writes, my phone is going to die. Now she's coming in for the confrontation. Oh Lord. See, this is the shitstorm barometer. The shitometer. Uh-oh, this is going to be a fucking bad one. The back end of the shitstorm is the worst. That's when it really is going to come. Okay, still her mother. It's your call. You know that this can't go on. You being mad at me forever. We all need each other. We should do better, especially in front of the kids. I never meant to hurt you. Why don't you ask the kids if they would like to come over and let them make the decision? So I finally replied, they are kids. They don't decide. Please explain to me why you think that I am mad at you. Her reply, I'm sorry, I don't know. I think you're just unhappy with your job and stressed and you take it out on us and take everything offensively. Here's the shit wins. So I said, that response is exactly why I may remain forever mad at you. So I said, that response is exactly why I will remain mad at you forever. Please don't contact me anymore. She then went on some more. I'm sorry. Why don't you tell me I'm sorry? Why don't you tell me then? I'm sorry. I don't know. Please tell me. I'm apologizing for upsetting you, but I don't know what I did. I never responded, and then my sister-in-law's best friend died in childbirth to twins. My sister-in-law is pregnant too, and I felt like I should be there for her. So this was my mother's back into my life. I have a niece coming who's supposed to be my godchild, and I'm supposed to help with the baby shower. So as long as I'm involved in this planning, doors opened back up for her, and the abuse started all over again. There's no reason. There's just no, you don't go back no matter what, no matter what, no matter what, no matter what. It's like you kind of avoided the back end of the shitstorm and you keep running back into it. I had to go to a bridal shower, and so I met my mother and sister-in-law there, and we were discussing the baby shower planning. It had already been decided that I was doing the centerpieces, so I discussed the ideas I had of what to do with the centerpieces with my sister-in-law. Loved it, and my sister-in-law loved it. All I needed was the baby pictures of my brother and the baby pictures of his wife to put them together. My mother did not like this idea, and she had reasons, but didn't tell me. Instead, she sent me a text the next day saying that she was so excited about the favors that she ordered, and she knew just what to do with the centerpieces. Oh, the shit leopard. There's the shit leopard again. Just throwing shit again, huh? She said that her friend was going to help her make them. I reminded her that I had already taken on that role and that I had my own idea. She said, "Good luck finding pictures of your brother as a baby." Bitch. And at that point, it just should have been, bitch. Never call. Done. 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 And that's up to your sister-in-law. You should have been like, you got to make a call right here, right now. I thought that was weird, and I said, of course I will find them. Well, she apparently doesn't have many pictures of him as a baby, and she is scared that he will find out, or anyone else for that matter. Huh, you mean like, You mean like how she tried to give up the vacation and told your daughter there was no Easter Bunny and ruins everything on you? You mean like that? Huh. I'd say, I hope it doesn't slip out because I'm so emotional that I can't find a baby picture of him. She became increasingly angry at me about it. I knew that other people had pictures and she didn't want me to ask them. It would be an embarrassment to her. I decided to attempt to go forth with the plan anyways, and we had to meet to go over the details for the shower with my sister-in-law's mother at my mom's house. When I got there, we started looking at pictures because my brother and I looked so much alike as babies. We had a hard time figuring out which ones were him. When my brother's mother-in-law got there, I was explaining how we were having a hard time, and apparently this was a violation because my mother got so mad that she stepped on my foot really hard under the table as if to tell me to shut up. What? Then she kept kicking me. If I said something she didn't like, she kicked me under the table. You should have fucking At the same time, if my mother-in-law said something kind of dumb or a little off, my mother wanted to signal me to take notice because she thought it was ridiculous. She would kick me in the leg under the table. Then my sister-in-law, who just lost her best friend in the world in the most tragic way, came up in a conversation. My mother starts going off about how she needs to get over it because she's being overdramatic. My mother said that she would be happy for the baby if she is caring for her safety, and kept saying, how will she take care of the baby if she is sad all the time? And she better be prepared because your mother's going to start her bullshit on her. We were appalled. My brother's mother-in-law said, imagine if you lost your best friend. And of course, my mother laughed. She laughed. That reveals that she knows that she would not feel any bit of sadness over the loss of a close friend. Well, what do you think it's like in the shit leopard's den, huh? My mother also said she didn't think she should name the baby's middle name after a friend who had passed because it was bad luck and the baby could die. Yes, she said that the baby could die. She believes that the baby will have a curse on her if named after the friend who died. I said, well, Mom, it's not your choice. She screamed at me in front of this other woman. I know it's not my choice, but she needs to know it's a bad idea. Her face gets so evil in her voice, too, when I challenge her. That is when I looked at the mother-in-law and said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to leave. My mother laughed and said, oh, okay, ha-ha. Oh, no, ha-ha, Melissa has to leave. Oh, and basically mocked me. I left and not heard from her. Oh, you got caught up in the back end of the shit, in the shitstorm, huh? And there it was. I realize that this is extremely detailed, but I wanted to show how difficult it is to be in her company. I recently had a great therapy session to talk about these things. I brought in a photo that I found that showing her smiling amused me. Her young 12-year-old daughter, while I am clearly so upset, hurt, begging for her to connect with me. I'm frustrated. The photo summed up the dynamic of our relationship. I know that I am an adult now, and I understand finally what it is she is doing and who she is, an evil narcissist. These things can affect me. These things can't affect me as much now. They can be triggering, but they are not subliminal messages that can break me anymore. In the session, I recalled so many things, and we were able to make some breakthrough connections. I cried so much and realized that no contact is necessary. I was never given affection, told that my feelings were okay. I was told I was wrong or something was wrong with me. I was not taken seriously. I will send another submission to discuss those childhood memories that came up for me. Today I wanted to talk about the daily struggle. The more in-depth damage to my inner child as a result of her toxicity will follow. Thank you for taking the time to read this one, Ollie. To be continued, Melissa. Well, Melissa, this is why you don't engage the shit leopard. You were in the eye, you were in the eye of the narcissistic shitstorm and you almost got out. And you went back in. You went back into the narcissist. And what's going to happen? The shit leopard and her shit pups are going to do nothing but just throw shit at you. And that's what you got. Every time you deal with your mother, you walk out covered in shit. So don't engage the shit leopard and don't go into the narcissist shitstorm. Pretty simple. So, thank you for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it successful, growing, and expanding, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.